Am I happy I completed my military service? Yes, absolutely. Would I do it again? Hell no. A lot of people think the military builds character, discipline, and a strong friendship with people. And it does. Who could have known putting a ton of guys in the same age group go through horrible times together would make them bond and grow stronger. But after going it through myself, I honestly wouldn't recommend it. There are so many better options out there, unless you're one of those far crazy guys, which you will meet in the military. Just don't do it, man. I was a Finnish conscript, so this wasn't something I chose voluntarily, and I realized the military has a lot of downsides. You have absolutely no freedom. You have to do exactly what you're told and how they want it, even if it's dumb or wrong. They literally own you, and that's not a good feeling. No, don't get me wrong, I don't want to just bash on the military. We have this weird neighbor here in Finland that we really aren't too fond of, and they don't seem too fond of us, so yeah, the military could have been worse. I may make a video on the good side, but today I'm focusing on just some of the negative parts. Just some. Okay. The barracks. You show up to base on your first day and it feels huge. You have no idea where anything is, but you'll quickly learn. There isn't a ton you can do. Most of the areas are inaccessible to you, and most time will be spent on mandatory obligations such as training or cleaning duty. But hey, at least the room you share with 11 other men will be clean for a couple of hours after you've cleaned it. The people around you. Like I said, you share your room with 11 other men. At the same time, you'll be surrounded by engineers and future doctors, as well as people who can't do elementary school math or even shower. So there will be some cool dudes around, but mostly people where you just think, how did you make it this far in life? They say some insane stuff, don't know how to do basic things, and stink so bad you can't even sleep. They'll be talking to their girlfriends all night and make your trainings a nightmare. Having to spend an extra hour at the training grounds because some idiot lost their keys, only to later find out that they had them the entire time, was just the norm. And the worst part, you'll eventually, at some point or another, become one of them, when no food and the lack of sleep gets you. Well, not that smelling, that's just nasty. You think school was over as soon as you joined? No. Some days you have to sit for 8 hours a day in a classroom, listening and writing everything down. Or at least you're supposed to be doing that, or you'll get yelled at for not doing. Having to study for hours on end in your guys' room without any Clash Royale breaks. I know, heartbreaking. And then you have the tests. I mean, it's literally school. This time you're just learning how explosives work, or how to boil water, or whatever. Physicality. The military is physically demanding. You knew this already. If you think you will just work out in the gym every day and become super fit and so much better than everyone else, it really doesn't work like that. Being buff, sure, can help, but mostly it's cardio and just being able to carry heavy equipment on you. So better than that, you could just go for a run with 20 kilos on you and see how well you do. But the physicality isn't just having to carry massive amount of gear on long marches or hard training. You also have to do those without adequate sleep or food. Fun. I was lucky enough to complete my service, mostly during the summer. So instead of having to march everywhere, or even worse, having to ski like some of my friends have to do right now, we got to bike. Now biking, that was okay, or at least it would have been okay, way better than the other options, Had our bikes not been 50 years old and breaking on every single trip. Man, full battle gear, backpack full, a rifle around your chest. If during a bike march at least one dude didn't have his bike absolutely totaled on the side of a road and having to wait for an hour for him, that would have not been a bike march, I'm telling you. You really are at the mercy of the weather. One day you'll be overheating and sweating so much you have to shower 3 times a day, but the next it's so cold you're genuinely getting frostbite and having to think about how your ancestors survived. Long days. You have to spend 24/7 under the watchful eyes of your superiors and live in the middle of nowhere following the schedule and doing training all day. But hey, if you're on the base, at least you'll get a few hours in the evening to hang out with your buddies or go outside, exercise. Yeah, why am I lying? We both know I was just staying in bed on my phone. But hey, I could have been doing that. Camping. Camping is the worst. It's the worst thing ever. You'll get to work for 22 hours straight, after which you collapse in the tent where there is never enough room. Sleep for an hour before being waken up for watch duty. All you can do is think about your life choices. Man, civilian life was so great. You don't even realize how hard it is to get stuff or do stuff starting from basically nothing. Just getting a meal makes you happy, because that's never guaranteed. No pay for the work you put in. How much do you think you get paid for all of this? I mean, after going through all of what I just mentioned. In the States, you would get paid well, have student loan forgiveness, etc. Here, you are a conscript. You get a total of 6 euros a day. 6 euros. I mean, if you smoke, like a ton of people you will meet, you can't even afford cigarettes from the shop with that. And people somehow still manage to spend all their money gambling in the evenings. That's dedication. I mean, I made the same amount of money I did being 6 months in the military in 2 weeks working at a factory. And at the factory, it was 8 hours a day, not 16. And I got to go to my home and rest after the day. Man. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the war part. I mean, if I had to go to war with the same people I trained with, I can promise you, I'm not coming back. Better pray that doesn't happen, or I'm actually toast. But hey, I could make 1,000 more videos on military stories if you're interested, or talk about working in a factory, or school, or whatever, so please subscribe. I haven't got a few.